Okay, this problem comes from the college algebra class online, and this is a calculator problem. The best way to do it is by calculator. You can do it by hand when solving systems of equations, but if I was to ask you this problem on the test, I would want you to do it by the calculator. You type in, you go to Stat, and Edit, Enter, and type in these values, -1, -3.9, 0, 1.2, 1, 0.88, 2, -0.45, and 3, -12.9. And if you want to see a graph of it, you go to second, y is equal, and enter again, and graph, and there's your graph. Notice that the highest point is here, and this forms a parabola type shape. So you know it's probably going to be a quadratic, which means it's going to be an ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, if you wanted to do it by hand, you would type in, you would start off with y is equal to, hold on a second and I'll pull it up. You would pull up you would write y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And you would basically pick 3 points because you have 3 unknowns. So you need to pick 3 points. You need to include 0 because 0 for x will cancel some out. You're going to have 3 of these equations, and one of them is going to cancel out to c, and then you're going to plug in c to the 2 equations and solve for 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Now that's the way it takes about a half a page of work, and it's really not necessary because you can go to your calculator and you can hit second or stat, go to calculate, and you know it's a quadratic, so go down to number 5, and there is got to type in second 1, see the L1 right there, that's your first list, comma, second L2, that's your second, and then hit enter, and there is your -2.23 A, 2.01 B, and 0.92 C. And that's the easiest way to do that problem. I have another problem to go over. And that problem, if I can get to it, well, I've been logged out. This is so frustrating. Next problem is this problem. And it says, get rid of my scribble. This problem says, find the function below, use graph calculator to find out what it looks like. Well, this is a saddle because it's to the 4th. So you know it's going to look like a parabola in some way, but it's got a saddle in the middle. So that's what it looks like. Did this right, did this right, did this right. Let's look and see what we missed on this one. Give the open interval which the function is increasing. Give the function when the function is decreasing. All right, the best thing to do when you do a problem like this is, I'm going to blow this up so I can write on it, maximize. There we go. This is what you need to do. You need to think of a car or a plane. I'll draw a plane. It's more like a space shuttle, but it's a plane. All right, and a plane starts right here. Now, what is that plane doing as it goes x-wise? As it moves this way, what is it doing? It's descending. And then what is it doing here? It's ascending. And what is it doing here? It's descending. And what is it doing here? It's ascending. Okay? So let's go through that again. As the plane is traveling through the air, when it gets to this point, it starts what? Descending. Then increasing, then decreasing, then increasing. Okay? One more time. Decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing. Now all you gotta do is mark the points. We take your handy dandy red virtual marker, and it looks like this point is right about there, and this point is right about there, and this point is right about there. And then you take your handy dandy straight line maker, and we'll do kind of a green color. That point looks like it's lining up with that X right there. And this point, I have no idea what it's lining up as. Probably a half, I don't know. Let me move it over a little bit. It looks like it would be a half. Maybe a half. I don't know. Okay, it's not going to let me move it, so let's just work with what we got. So take my handy dandy green and put a handy dandy green, and that looks like to that point. That looks like 1, and this looks like -2. I'll take my handy dandy black marker, put a -2 right here, -1, 0, and 1. Okay, so I want you at home to tell me, where is this plane increasing and decreasing? Really? Okay, starting over here. Well, sir, Hubert, the plane is decreasing from negative infinity, because it's coming from negative infinity. And when it hits right here, it's going 1? Down. Till we get to 2. And 2, it starts to really, it starts to increase. So you get to about a third. I don't know what that is, maybe 0.25, negative 0.25, and then it starts to decrease from negative 0.25 to 1, and then it starts back increasing from 1 to infinity, because this keeps on going. So, decreasing from negative infinity to 2, increasing from -2 to 0.25, whatever that is, decreasing from negative 0.25 to 1, increasing from 1 to infinity. The increasing and decreasing is what the plane is doing. And you tell what the plane is doing by where it is going down the x-axis. The x-axis is what you write down. Negative infinity to 2. 2 to negative 0.25. Negative 0.25 to 1. 1 to infinity. Increasing. The increasing and decreasing is what the plane is doing. Okay? So that should help you there. Alright, let's try another. I'm going to get rid of this. Next one. This is 3.4, number 12. And this question is asking, a square lawn has an area of 162 feet squared. A sprinkler placed at the center of the lawn sprays circular pattern just covers the lawn. Right here. What is the radius of the circle? Well, of course, we've got to start with some formulas. We know that, let me get my black pen here. We know that the area of a rectangle or square is equal to 2L plus 2W, or in this case, this is a square, it's equal to 4S. I'm sorry, 2 times S. this times this, length times width. Let me just go backwards. Length times width are 2s. Length times width, or base times height, or in this case it would be s squared. Two sides multiplied together. The area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. Now we are looking for r, so we're looking for this guy right here. But we're only given, that takes care of everything except for this. The square, the long is what? 162 feet. 162 feet squared. So that's right here. So if we wanted to find how big one of the sides were of the long, then we could go square root, square root. Now S, let's go to this. I'll show you how to do this. 162 is between 144 and 196. And that square root of 196 is 13. Is that 169? 169. So I was thinking 14. And this is equal to 12. Well, we know that 12.5 is equal to the middle of these two, which is 144 to 169 is 25. Half of 25 is what? Half of 25 is 12 and a half. So 12 added to this is 166 or 156. Yeah, I think 156, isn't it? 12, yeah. So that's 156. So I'm going to erase this. And I know that 156 is right in here. Now, of course, you can do this in your head. I'm just showing you how to find the square root if you don't have a calculator. And 12, that'd be 12.25, 12.75 here, and you find the middle there. We need 162, so we need to try to find the middle here. So 169 to 156, I think half of that is 1. The difference is 13. Half of 13 is what, 6? 6 and a half. So that'd be 162.5. Actually, somewhere in there is equal to 12.75. So I'm going to say, since it's a little bit more, I'm going to just say 12.7. That's what I'm going to say, 12.7. And you can find it in your calculator. So we found out that the sides of the yard is 12.7. Does that help us with finding the radius? Well, actually, this right here is the radius from this corner. I can't draw it because this thing is terrible. I'm terrible, and this terrible. So let me do my handy dandy straight line. And from here to here, well, heck, what's that? That is the radius, but I can't find that because I don't know that. But I know that this right here is half of 12.7 because that's half the radius. So I can take this 12.7 and this 12.7 and put it in the calculator as Pythagorean theorem. 12.7 half squared plus 12.7 divided by 2 squared is equal to c squared. And to find c, you take the square root of that and the square root of this. So whatever this comes out to be, square root of that number is C, which is this side right here, which is your radius. So we'll do that with the handy dandy calculator right quick if I can find it. I'm trying to find it. Oh Lord, this is going to be frustrating. All right, here we go. So 12.7 divided by 2. Now, of course, you need to find the actual square root of 162.5 or whatever it comes out, 162. Let's just do that right now. 162 raised to the 0.5 power, 12.7. Okay, I got it. 12.7. So we take 12.7 and divide it by 2. And that's the side of our yard. And then we square that. And we add it to another square, 6.35 squared. And then we take the square root of that, raise it to the 0.5 power. So the radius is around 8.98. So when you do this problem, it should be around 8.98. Now I did some rounding, so mine's probably off, maybe around 9. So you can take your handy dandy, plug it in. I say it's 9 because of rounding. I may be wrong. Then I got it right. Okay, so that's that problem. Let me find another problem. This next problem is 3.4 number 5. A mat around a picture indicates the mat is 36 inches, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this question is kind of a misleading question. Here is a mat. Okay, the picture goes in here. Now, what they're telling you is, they're saying that the area, the mat is 36 inches long, and 25 inches wide. The area of the picture is 600, so the picture is right in here. Is 600 square inches. So inches squared. Now you know right off the bat that 600 is going to be on the right side of the equal sign because it's the total. And you know that 2L plus 2W is equal to, the area is equal to the length times width. Now, what you have to remember is that you're not doing one square, you're doing two squares, or two rectangles. And that's where the 2x comes from. This 36 is minus this and this. Or you could do it the other way around. This whole area right here is minus this and this. So that's where the minus 2x comes from. So 36 minus 2 of these, 1 and 2. And then 25 minus this guy and this guy. And what you're basically setting up is the area over here is equal to this. Now, when you get through, you're trying to find the width. The width is what this width is right here. That's why it's misleading. Some people say how thick it is. No, they want this width, and this width. That's what they're wanting. But they're not wanting you to finish it. They just want you to set it up. Okay? So that's where the 2 come from. There's 2 over here, and there's 2 over here. They call an X, I call them W's for width. And that should be that problem. Let's see if there's any more. I think that's it. Well, I hope that helps.